We want them to be able to follow their own interests, do things that encourages independent study. And what's good about it is that it's there and it's there in writing, so kind of we've got to do it. So it's like a really good excuse to do something a bit more fun. Yeah.
At Unity College in Burnley, everyone is fully aware of the need for change. 12 months ago, the school was given notice to improve. And when just 21% of pupils achieved 5 A to C, including English and Maths GCSEs, English was identified as a particular weakness in both key stages.
I think the department had got into a situation where they were doing the same things every year, and it slowly wasn't fitting in with the new ways of working. The head of department and the second in department both left the school, so it's actually practically now a brand new department.
It was at this point that head teacher Sally Cryer looked at the new Key Stage 3 curriculum as a way of improving.
We need to improve results, we need to raise standards. Students want to be excited, they want to be motivated, and we use a curriculum to motivate students to want to come to school. And I think now, with the opportunity of the Key Stage 3 curriculum, this is going to further motivate students to want to be in the building and want to learn.
But how easy is it to bring about such effective change in a challenging school? To encourage the successful implementation of the new curriculum into the English department, the school funded Joanne Wilson, a former local authority advisor, to join the team as a learning consultant.
The whole idea now is that everything that we do hinges on some key concepts, that if young people have a sort of an ability to have skills around this area, they'll be successful as individuals, successful citizens and good learners. They should have a very good, clear understanding of the new curriculum, but it had become apparent that that wasn't the case, and so it was important that we had some kind of training session around that.
The training session is used to mind map ideas.
We could look at designing the front covers.
Yeah.
So it's not just, a publisher, look at sort of developing skills there.
What you just said then about the RT links, there's this fantastic piece of software in the CLC and Mr Patel uses it. It's brilliant. You could actually make their own comic strips from it.
Fantastic.
It's about trying to look at the timetable as well and saying to ICT, you know, when do you teach them? How can we make this so it's a proper project, if you like, a proper joint effort, not just something that where we use ICT rooms during our English lesson. You know, it's about making some real links. Certainly when I started, I felt that the motivation to be in English lessons wasn't as high as it has been in other schools. So the first thing to do was to get kids interested and wanting to go to their English lessons and enjoying that. And obviously with the new curriculum, it's much more flexible. It allows a lot more creativity.
Joanne uses team teaching sessions to develop areas of the new curriculum, after Ofsted specifically identified the quality of teaching as an area to improve.
It just worries me a little bit because I think my actual lessons are pretty static and I'm not confident with, allowing them to get out of the seat and sort of move around the classroom and do a bit of, studying else around the room.
Well, I've thought about if we did sort of the idea of the bus stops, so that they actually move around the group. They move from one table to the other, so the children move as opposed to anything else. They have a different thing to do at each bus stop. Kelly's a relatively new teacher. She's had a couple of years' experience in the classroom, and she's very keen on moving forward, and particularly with the best ways of getting pupils learning, including getting them out of the seats and moving around the room. And like most teachers, especially teachers in schools which are facing challenging circumstances, that's a bit of a leap of faith.
Kelly tries out this new activity with Joanne during a reading lesson with Year 7s, using DVD covers as a focus.
As a group, you're going to move to the different bus stops. Miss and I will tell you when you've got to your stops. So you're going to have about 2 minutes at each bus stop. OK? When you finish at bus stop 1, you're going to move to bus stop 2. And so wherever you start, you'll move round till you've been to all 5 bus stops and you end up where you started from in the end.
Joanne uses the bus stop activity to encourage more interactive learning. She also finds that it helps significantly with behaviour management.
And at the end of the lesson, we're going to ask you to come out to the front and do a little presentation where you tell us about what you've discovered from going around the bus stops. Right, ding ding! Move on to your next bus stop, please.
enjoying this, aren't they?
Who's got the picture?
Right, if we were looking... Can you find any examples of symbolism? So ask the photographer deliberately put in objects that make you think about something. What impact does it have on you as a viewer, and how does it make you feel? Right, so you've got buildings blowing up, helicopters, explosions, fire. So what's the symbolism there then?
It's a war.
Right, so it symbolises war. So we know by looking at that picture that it must have something to do with war.
What impact does it have on you as the viewers? How does it make you feel?
It makes you feel interested. Interested. Because it's a new film, so you're interested in the new film.
What is in the background? What is in the foreground? Has the picture been framed to make one thing stand out?
Yeah, the man stands out. Why haven't we framed them?
Staff, you know, have said for years and years they wish they could have done this, they wish they could have done that, they've been restricted by national curriculum, a straitjacket. That straitjacket's come off now, and staff now have the opportunity to do so many more exciting things with students, to help them to learn, to raise standards, and the ball's in the court of the teachers now and support staff to make that happen.
With a need to improve the standard of pupil assessment, Joanne is also keen to work with Kelly on developing the new APP system. This links with substrands in the renewed framework, which breaks down units to help teachers and, crucially, pupils with the assessment process.
Whilst the group is actually delivering their findings, OK, us as the audience need to be looking at our yellow journey maps and working out what level we think they've achieved in the substrands, OK? Before, you was looking at a specific level, and it was, even as a teacher, it was hard for me to differentiate between the levels and hard to see, whereas with the substrands, you're looking at specific little things and the students can, you know, sort of access it and they understand what they have to do.
With the impact of the camera's taken from the floor, so it makes the skyscraper building look taller. It's got a blended colour, like an orangey red, black, blue and grey, and it makes the lighting look different. There are a variety of different font sizes, and some of them are bold to make it stand out.
Can anybody look at their grids? If you were thinking about being me, what might you want to level? That Rachel's comment.
Inference and deduction.
Inference and deduction.
Good. Give evidence to support their ideas that they did.
Brilliant, well done. And what level did that come into?
Level 5.
Right, okay.
Very good.
I think the curriculum change is supporting us because it's allowing us to look at new topics that are relevant for children, and it's something that's exciting, and because we're excited it's rubbing off and the children are excited as well about it.
I'm looking for somebody who can really pinpoint where this group are working at in terms of levels.
And the way you use the colours, it makes it look a bit scary, and the lighting is artificial.
All right, now would anybody like to look at their learning map and make a point about anything that group have just talked about? Rachel?
We've talked about the variety of the font style and that.
Right. So if you're referring to the learning map, what could you do if you looked at that? Where would you place that?
At a level 6.
The difficulty for many teachers is this marriage between the new curriculum, which is also the renewed framework for English, and APP, so we can deliver these exciting lessons and these different lessons and make students more motivated to learn. But we need to make sure that we understand how to assess their progress. It's about making sure that when we're delivering the substrands, when we're teaching them, we've got a clear idea then how we link that to levels and how that relates to the APP process.
It was good. We found out a lot of information and discover more stuff what the picture are about. We didn't have to just sit down, and we got to move around, so we got to talk and we got to look at all the things on the sheet, and then when you move around it's not as boring as sitting down.
We get told how to reach level 6, 7 and 5. So I think if I get to level 6 then I'll try to get higher because I want to be the best I can.
But I think you're very kind to put them towards a level 7, but you'd be good at offering them advice because that's the point, they need to move to a level 7, don't they?
But it's good because like you learn about what you've been doing and stuff, and not just what you've been told to do.
It's been a massive bonus having Joanne here to lead on it with her expertise. But it could be done by a head department, but they do need the time. They do need the time to get this set in motion. They need the time to motivate the staff, and create this pathway for children.
Joanne leads a moderation session for staff, using pupils' work from the lesson. This is to extend her work on APP across the department.
So really we just want to kind of look at it and have a go at levelling it, because I don't think it's not going to be particularly difficult, because again, if the kids could do it, we can do it. So this is Kieran, who did his little presentation there. Didn't really like to... This is the question we set: how is the DVD cover designed to have an impact on an audience?
It's about opening people's minds to other ways of doing things, and it's about now sitting down with the department and saying, you know, we don't want to mark in isolation. This is again using the whole APP process of moderating work, standardising it against each other. We don't want to mark alone. Let's show you what we did, but then you help us, you know, and we'll talk through where we think we would position these students, and show you, so that if you do it with the students, you've got similar ideas. Because unless we know what the kids aren't doing well, we won't be able to plan for them to move forward.
He hasn't gone too much into depth there, because he touches on in things for 6.3 he'll mention like from dark to light. Well, what would that suggest? You know, somebody else may have said, well, the darkness may infer that it's going to be a horror movie or something like that.
It needs to find more about what effect it has on the audience stroke the reader, to be able to really hit anything higher.
When you're doing this and we're levelling it, because he's got 2 substrands, will they get 2 levels? Or one overall level? 2 levels. So a level for the substrand 5.2 and one for the 6.3.
And then
right, okay.
Change is never easy, and it's ensuring that you've got key players in school that fundamentally understand why we're doing what we're doing, and we're doing this for children, to enable to get the staff on board, to motivate staff, because if you've got motivated staff, you know, you can actually move mountains. At the end of the day, we're doing this for students.
So what effect has the new curriculum had on the English department and its pupils? We returned 4 months later to find out.
The pupils are more engaged now because we're excited about the work that we're doing. It obviously has a knock-on effect on how we deliver the lesson, and students are going down the corridors, raving about the lessons they've just had. So it's refreshing to see this, and they're actually excited about coming to English now.
It's clear that things are moving on. The assessment points that we've run so far do show that pupils are making better progress than before, and certainly student motivation is a lot higher than perhaps it has been in previous years. We've got to keep checking that it's working, we've got to keep refining it. It's not a simple answer, it's about making sure that it's working and that kids are moving forwards.
Already children talk about the excitement in English, the motivation in English. They can't wait to get to their English classes, and we're hoping that will filter through, not just through English throughout all years, but across the whole school.